Hey everybody, welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend when you head on over to infinityflux.net. So head there right now, you can follow along, place your pre-orders for these books that come out, looks like, beginning of
Early October? Yeah, late
September.
September, early October.
Yeah, so you got to go ahead and get your orders in. That way you don't miss out on any of these awesome books when they are released then. And you get to just see some really cool comics.
Yeah.
So
cool covers, cool books, cool collected editions.
Cool guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
At the top of the show, I did want to mention, so our Monday show that we usually do, because of the holiday, we only received our shipment for Marvel books. We will be doing possibly 2 shows, a Marvel show, and then Tuesday try to do a DC show. So just, at the top of the show, want to tell you, if you're looking forward to hearing about Batman #1, we will probably be doing that on a Tuesday show instead of Monday. But tune in for both of them because they're both going to be awesome.
But we can go ahead and tell you Batman #1 is really, really good.
It's really good. I'm really excited for people to finally check it out.
Yeah.
And we can stop tiptoeing around all the fun bits.
Yeah.
So let's get into this Comics from the Future, because it is a pretty big one.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start off with our Prime comic pre-orders.
This is Spider-Man Noir #1. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a mini-series, but I don't know how many issues it's going to be. But it's written by Erik Larsen, and the art is by Andrea Brichardo. And this is set in the 1930s. This is Spider-Man Noir that we all know. 1930s, Peter Parker is a private detective by day, vigilante Spider-Man by night. And things are going pretty well for him until a certain dame named Gwen Stacy walks into his office to ask for Peter's help solving the case of her father's murder. So that's a pretty classic story in the Spider-Man mythos, the death of George Stacy. And now we're going to get the Spider-Man Noir treatment of that. And it says this case may not only break George Stacy's police department, but Spider-Man himself. So I don't know how, don't know why, but should be pretty cool, especially since we have the series coming on Amazon Prime.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think this is maybe to give a newer, like if people learn about the show coming out?
I think so.
Give them something more recent to go to rather than the series that came out like early 2000s.
Yeah, Spider-Man Noir is great, but I'd be willing to say that if there weren't a show coming at some point, we wouldn't have this. Spider-Man Noir is a great character, but he just hasn't been used all that much.
Yeah.
Maybe the Spider-Verse stuff. He wasn't even in the most recent Spider-Verse.
Yeah, he was in the earlier ones.
Yeah, he was in the first Spider-Verse movie, not the second one. So they're just trying to freshen him up in case, just a refresher course, basically. So this is our A cover. We have a David Mack variant and an Erik Larsen variant.
I would love a Spider-Man Noir, but revisit a lot of classic Spider-Man stories like this, but with it in the noir.
Yeah.
Give me
a Kraven's Last Hunt.
Kraven's Last Hunt, or something like that.
Or follow this up with the death of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
But make it a murder mystery. It's not like, the Green Goblin didn't throw her off a bridge. Like, he found her in an apartment, and now he's got to solve this mystery.
Yeah.
That's what I would like.
This is going to be really cool. Yeah. And having Erik Larsen on it that was the craziest thing to me, but very cool. Okay, next up, this is going to be a big one. This is X-Men Age of Revelation Overture #1. So I butchered the description of this all over the place on our Wednesday show.
We have to issue a big correction.
Big correction. It's not that big. I put characters in the wrong places. So this is by Jed MacKay and the art is by Ryan Stegman, which, fantastic team right there. This is going to be kind of your kickoff for the big Age of Revelation story that's going to run for quite a while through the X-Men books as they get retitled.
Yeah, this is kind of like the Alpha issue. They usually, they used to do Alpha and Omega issues, and this is kind of like there's a couple books that sort of act as prologues to this, but this is the first big main.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about this because if you read the Zero issue, that was really fun. It sets up a very cool sounding world. So, in this, the air rises, the resistance ignites, which sounds very Star Wars. So the Revelation territories stretch from the Atlantic to the Mississippi, a mutant utopia ruled by the heir of Apocalypse. I think I mentioned that the heir of Apocalypse was the leader of the resistance. No, it's the opposite.
The complete opposite.
He's the bad guy. But if you've been reading it, I don't think you'll have to know a whole lot going into this, but that the heir of Apocalypse is what we did know is Cypher, who was a very mild-mannered character, but now this is going to be pretty crazy. So this is a mutant utopia ruled by the heir of Apocalypse, but beneath the surface, rebellion brews. As a ragtag X-Men team strikes from the shadows, Revelation faces threats from within. It all begins here, the dawn of the Age of Revelation. So it is very much in the spirit of Age of Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
With the way the books are kind of getting retitled, this kind of resistance group up against this bigger power. You're going to be seeing a lot of familiar faces, but kind of in different roles. We know, like, Laura Kinney is going to be called Sabretooth in this. And it's going to be really, really interesting. You have Wendigo as Wolverine.
I think, this Age of Apocalypse was an alternate universe story, right? And this is not. This is canon 616, but it's 10 years in the future. And I actually think that makes it more interesting because, in Age of Apocalypse, it's like, this character, Wolverine had one hand. I wonder how that happened. Well, it's an alternate universe thing, whatever. But in this, it's like Laura Kinney is Sabretooth. It's like, how did she get to that point? You can't
right here to right there.
Yeah, you can't just hand wave it away saying, that's just how it is in this new universe. That's not, there's more to it. There's a little bit more substance. So.
Yeah, and not that this is necessarily the for sure future. I'm sure something's going to happen to rewrite the timeline.
That's what I think too. Like, they're having their cake and eating it too, but because this feels like an alternate universe story because everything's so different, but it's not alternate. So that it's not like a multiverse thing, and then you get the added story point of what are they going to do to prevent this from happening? That's so I think I'm really excited for this.
I'm really excited. This sounds really, really fun. So if you're planning on reading the Age of Revelation books, any of them, I would guess this would be whether you read all of them or just some of them, you'll probably want to read this as it will get you into the mindset, the world, set up the world, all of that for it.
And I still highly, highly recommend the Age of Revelation #0 book that came out. And if you missed that, I'm pretty sure we still have some available if you check infinityflux.net.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing some out on the shelves out there. We probably got maybe like 10 copies or something. So grab that up off the website. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
That one single issue completely hyped me up for this. And then now there's this. So I think this has the potential to be really, really fun.
Yeah. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Ricky Yagawa character variant, which I really like this look for Wolverine. I think it's pretty cool. We have a Corey Smith variant.
That looks like a movie poster.
It does look, that's really cool as well. We have a Art Germ variant with Psylocke, but I'm not sure what's going to be different about this Psylocke,
I don't know.
But I'm sure there's something. And we have an Aaron Cooter Revelation variant.
Cyclops blasted a hole in your wall, and now he's peeking in on you. Weirdo.
What a weirdo, Cyclops.
This is Unbreakable X-Men #1. So to go along with the Age of Revelation books that are about to come out, this is our first actual, and I don't want to say ongoing because this is not an ongoing thing. This is gonna, this is only going to last for a certain amount of time, but this is the first of our books in this new universe, or not in this new universe, but in this new time. And this is Unbreakable X-Men #1. So this is basically what Uncanny X-Men will be. This is going to fill that slot.
Yeah, all of the books kind of have a replacement book.
Yeah, like a counterpart.
By most of them by the same creative teams, but pretty drastic shift in characters and story.
So this is the Uncanny X-Men book of this storyline. This is written by Gail Simone, the artist by Lucas Wernick, and it says it keeps saying X years later, but I don't know if they mean that to be 10 literal or if they don't want to be specific. But it's 10 years. I mean,
I kind of took it as they don't want to be specific.
Yeah.
Because I think this is, I think when it starts, it's maybe 10 years
Yeah.
after current
Yeah.
stories, but this could jump.
This
you know,
could be a
even
little bit further into
than
that, yeah. So, X years later, however many years later this is going to be, the Uncanny X-Men have been shattered by loss and tragedy and scattered to different locations around the world. And at Haven House, which is the house that they're staying at in New Orleans in the Uncanny X-Men book, only 3 remain, wounded, grieving, and guarding the portal to the terrifying Penumbra.
Mm.
And I'm not sure what that is. I'm behind on Uncanny X-Men, so I don't know if that's a concept that's been introduced in that book or not. Can they stop the thundering darkness that has lurked below the surface for centuries, screaming to break free? Or will they fail and watch a vengeful god bring an army of tormented souls to the surface, crying for mutant blood? So I guess the vengeful god maybe is Revelation, is Doug Ramsey maybe they're talking about, or maybe it's that in the
like
background.
Nightmare.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So this one almost sounds a little bit more on the horror side, a little bit. Not full horror, but it sounds a little bit more menacing than just like we're gonna take down this dictator. No, this almost sounds like it has a supernatural element to it. I don't know who that is on the cover. Maybe it's Gambit. Maybe it's somebody else. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out. So this is our A cover. We have a Terry Dodson variant. That one's interesting. With is she? Well, I thought she was maybe dressed up like Deadpool, but I guess it's just a red and black version of her regular. There's a Ricky Yagawa variant and a Mateus Manhanini foil.
So I guess
variant.
that is Gambit.
I guess it is Gambit. Okay, yeah.
Unless someone else is.
Yeah, I guess that is Gambit.
Doing something similar.
Yeah.
Well, next up, this is going to be fun. This is DC's Zatannic Panic. Just in time for Halloween.
Yep.
DC tends to do these kind of one-shot anthologies for the different holidays, and this one sounds perfect. So,
and this comes out on October 1st, so it's perfect time.
Yep. So this is going to have a bunch of different creators in it, telling a bunch of different stories, but some of those creators, I was actually pretty surprised by the caliber. Usually, not saying that they're like not big names, but sometimes it's people I'm like, oh, I think I've heard of their name. No, this one we've got stories by Daniel Warren Johnson, of course, of the Transformers and Falcons.
Of Beta Ray Bill fame.
Of Beta Ray Bill fame and Extremis or
Extremity?
Extremity. And yeah, so, I mean, one of the biggest names in comics right now is going to be doing a story. Andrew McLean, who I love from Headlopper, is going to be doing one. Cavan Scott, who I've worked with, not just a name drop, who works on all the Star Wars stuff and is doing the current Gwenpool comic, is doing one and more. And we're going to get stories starring Batman, Ambush Bug, Raven, the Demon, Plastic Man, Swamp Thing, and of course Zatanna. So great cast. I always am up for a new Swamp Thing story, especially horror related. Love all the darker DC characters, so this is going to be really fun. We've got our A cover here. We've got a Daniel Warren Johnson, so I wonder if he's doing the Plastic Man story.
Why are there so many faces in his body?
What, he's supposed to be plastic, not people.
Yeah, People Man.
People Man. And we also have a Sean Rakote variant.
Next up is Spirits of Violence #1. Now, this was supposed to come out a long time ago, and I don't know why it got delayed so much, but it's here now. It's coming out on October 1st, and I think that's the perfect time for this. This is written by Sabir Perzada. The art is by Paul Davidson, and this one is going to feature Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, Robbie Reyes, Kushala, Phantasma, Helverine, and more combining forces to save the world when a strange group of new villains sets their sinister plan in motion. I don't know what that plan is going to be, what they want to do, but it's going to take all of the Ghost Riders or Ghost Rider adjacent characters to try to stop them. But who is the Spirit of Violence specifically, and what horrors do they bring from Johnny Blaze's and Danny Ketch's past? So I think that's really cool too. I'm a big Danny Ketch fan. I grew up as a kid reading Danny Ketch's Ghost Rider. Hasn't really been used in a long time, so hopefully he'll get a lot of good screen time here. And it says, forget everything you thought you knew about Ghost Rider.
Done.
The most climactic ride in history starts here. So I'm all for a giant Ghost Rider team up.
Just a bunch of flaming skulls yelling at each other.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. So this is our A cover. There's an Ian Gist variant. There is a Kyle Hotz Marvel Zombies variant. And a Peach Momoko kimono variant. Why couldn't they put Danny Ketch in a kimono? That would have been fun.
He can wear one. It'd get caught in the wheels of his bike.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good. Next up, we have The Phantom #1. So you may have checked out the free comic book day, The Phantom. I guess it was kind of an issue 0, but I really enjoyed it. This is by Ray Fox and Russell Olson. And if you're not familiar, The Phantom is one of our oldest kind of vigilante type characters in comics. He was created by Lee Fox in 1936 and has had a bigger run with like newspaper comics. That was kind of his main place, but I love all those pulp era heroes, and I love the Phantom. So we are getting this new series by Ray Fox, who is a long time writer, mostly for DC, is where I've read most of his stuff. But in this, when a violent gang of smugglers stumbles upon an idyllic Bandor village, which is the place where the Phantom lives, the peace that the Phantom has brought to the African nation will suddenly shatter. It will take all the Phantom's many skills and allies to restore it. And it says the most exciting series of the year starts here. We'll have to see if that's true, but this sounds really fun. I like we don't have this genre as much anymore, which used to be called like jungle action.
Yeah.
That was a huge thing back in the day, along when like westerns were really big, war comics were really big. Jungle was another genre of comics.
Yeah, like Tarzan and Doc Savage, and
that's kind of when like Kazar kind of came out of that stuff, and Shanna the She-Devil. So I'm very excited about this because I feel like it's a genre that has not been explored in quite a while. So yeah, sounds really fun. Here is our A cover by Freddie Williams, which looks awesome. We have a Kanan White sequential battle scene. So I wonder if this is going to be, each cover is going to be sequential part of the battle. We have a Russell Olson cover. That's your interior artist.
Yeah, and I like that too.
And that's just, I don't know. I've always loved the Phantom's look. Even the movie, even though it's not great, I still really like it, especially the opening scene with Billy Zane in the jungle and the Jeep.
I thought they pulled off the costume pretty well, and it wasn't, it was a nice breath of fresh air from the over-designed costumes we have now. It was just like plain purple.
Yeah, although they did drop his black and white striped underwear, which is always a weird
I'm glad. I never liked that. That's the only thing I don't like.
Either. We also have a Dan Brereton cover in The Phantom's Throne. And we have a Freddie Williams black and white variant, even though it looks like it's got some touches of...
Oh, maybe we're going to get the Phantom black, white, and purple.
Oh, that would be awesome. And a blank sketch variant, which is just the Phantom white.
Right.
That's when they do they get tired of the black, white, and whatever. They're just and white.
It's just all white, Next up is Fantastic Four Gargoyles #1. I believe this is going to be a one-shot. This is from Greg Weisman and Enid Ballum. And danger strikes when Diablo, who is one of my favorite Fantastic Four villains, he learns that stone gargoyles may hold a secret to eternal life. But of course, the gargoyles aren't going to let him leech the blood of their own. And fortunately, to stop him, they have the help of expert Diablo bashers, the Fantastic Four. And that makes it sound like they don't like defeat him in battle. It makes it sound like the Fantastic Four are always like putting him down and like talking bad about him. So it should be a lot of fun. The Fantastic Four Gargoyles versus Diablo. Plus, Tony Stark and David Xanatos compare facial hair. Marvel's own Gargoyle, Isaac Christians, bonds with his new kin, and more. So
I've always wanted, because I always see like the Gargoyle miniseries from Marvel,
right,
and I always think about gargoyles. So now that they're finally kind of addressing that, I think is really fun.
But Gargoyle, when anything he touches turns to stone. So I wonder if
he just does that, and then they turn back, and he does.
You're right. They just kind of cancels out or whatever. So there was not a free comic book day book of this, right? But it was in the back.
It was in the back of
the Gargoyles one.
The Gargoyles one, where the Fantastic Four, because they look up in the sky and it's the four that Johnny makes, and then I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, this didn't feel like a thing that would ever happen.
I don't think anybody saw that coming either. So this should be a lot of fun. I love Diablo. I'm excited to see him in the story. So this is our A cover. There's a blank cover. There is a Gabriel Delato variant. Holy cow, that looks great.
Cool.
There's a Luciano Vecchio foil variant. and a Scotty Young variant. That's awesome too.
Yeah, what a fun idea.
Yeah.
And I love, I don't want like crossovers all the time, but I do like when different companies play well together.
Yeah.
Next up, we have White Tiger Reborn. I also believe this is just a one-shot by Daniel Jose Older. It says the return of White Tiger. It's not like White Tiger went away for any, we just haven't
been around for a while.
So this sounds like a lot. Ava Ayala is the current wielder of the powers of the White Tiger. Bearing the amulet of power that imbues its host with the connection to the mystical powers and martial arts prowess and all of that. She returns to her old stomping grounds to protect the innocent. She becomes embroiled in a mystery that forces her to confront her family's murder, convoluted history, and what links them to the White Tiger mantle as she comes face to face with Hector, her brother, who was dead and was the original White Tiger. In this special, celebrating Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month, we uncover the never-before-seen moments of the White Tiger's history and propels Ava into a new era. She reforges her link to the Tiger God and makes the mantle her own in this gripping tale. So I think this sounds really fun. It's kind of, I feel like more officially bringing her in as like, yep, this is White Tiger now. I read her like quite a bit, was in Avengers Academy.
Yeah, I think so. She was part of one of the Spider-Man animated series too. Like she was a big part.
So it's not like she's been out of the limelight for a long, long time, but I have a feeling we're going to start seeing her a little bit more, since there is the feeling that they may be setting her up in the Daredevil show, because Ava was introduced and, I think she did end up with the amulet at the end. I think it kind of came back to her.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
So I think that's really cool, and I'm looking forward to reading more about her, because I've always liked the White Tiger's look. And
I've always liked the White Tiger because when I started reading comics in the about mid 80s or so, one of my first comics I had was a small version of a reprint of Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't remember which issue number, but it had White Tiger in it. And it was Hector Ayala. And so here I am, like 5, 6 years old. I'm like, I knew about White Tiger before I knew about Daredevil or before the X-Men or something like that, So, and I always thought it was weird that White Tiger was never really a bigger part of the comics, because to me as a kid in the 80s, I was like, oh, he's super awesome. And he's got this amulet, gives him powers. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this to come back.
Yeah, we got some great covers here as well. So this is our A cover. We have a Caballero.
That's really cool.
Caballero variant, with all the different versions, and that's crazy. Also a Manahini variant, which is really, really cool. And that's it.
That's it. So this is The Guy in the Chair #1. This is a new miniseries from Dark Horse. This is written by Hannah Rose May and Utkarsh Ambudkar, and the art is by Guillermo Sana. And this sounds really fun. So it's about this guy, Abhi. He is a tactical analyst at a private military company. And they have a strict policy, apparently, there's no like office romance, workplace shenanigans, that kind of thing. But he breaks that rule and it falls head over heels in love with Merlin, who is the field operative whose missions that he supports as the guy in the chair. So I guess she's kind of like a Black Widow kind of thing. So she goes out in the field, does this stuff, and he's on comms in the chair doing all this stuff. And he falls in love with her. And when she shows up at his apartment bloody and beaten, Abhi is yanked from behind the safety of his computer screens. And now he and Merlin are going to have to prevent their former employer, I guess that military company, and a cabal of corporate overlords from a hostile global takeover that threatens all of humanity. So this sounds really cool. I love guys in chairs, Oracle. I love anytime there's a Batman book and the little green like a radio bubble comes up and it's Oracle given. I love that kind of stuff, and this is a book all about that. So should be really cool. This is the only cover we have.
Yeah. Next up, we have Red Book #1, following on the heels of Blue Book by James Tynion. This is also by James Tynion and Michael Avon Oeming. Blue Book was about kind of the true stories, or based on people's accounts of alien encounters, UFOs, and all of that. set in the U.S. Well, this one is set in Russia in 1961. 9 students died tragically under mysterious circumstances that will come to be known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. To this day, the true cause of their deaths remain unknown, although some theorize the blame lies with visitors from beyond the stars. So this is going to be fun because this is actually telling stories, alien encounters, that kind of thing, but focusing on stories from Russia and China. So I feel like I've heard a lot of yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like I've heard all the U.S. stories about aliens and different stuff, and the weather balloon was a weather balloon that crashed, and Area 51, all that. I don't know as much about the rest of the world's interactions and thoughts about aliens, so I think this is going to be really cool. And the previous series was great. It was really fun, really well told. So this is going to be cool. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Shimizu cover. We've got a Tyler Boss cover. And a Danny cover.
Next up is Immortal Legend Batman #2. The first issue came out this week, and it was really fun. And in this one, Batman's strength is going to be tested when his hunt for the new breed of shadows, and if you read the first one, you understand what that is. But that leads him to the asteroid base of space pirates who decide the fate of their captives through physical combat. So, and just like we talked about on Monday with this book, it's a very sci-fi / Super Sentai take on Batman. So that's why he's out in space and all that kind of stuff. And he's outnumbered, and without access to his powers, can the Immortal Legend Batman find the metal to survive, or will he be broken? And they use the term specifically broken instead of beaten or something. So I wonder if there's going to be like a version of Bane. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I thought maybe that was him right there.
Yeah. The guy in the back looks like Beast Man from Masters Universe.
Yeah, so this should be really cool. It's an Elseworlds book. I love Elseworlds stories, and this one's been a lot of fun. So this is our A cover from Dan Moore. There's a Michael Cho variant and a Serge Acuna variant. And I want to see Nightwing and Robin.
Yeah, those are great designs that I wish McFarlane was doing the DC toys long enough to get this out, because that would be an awesome figure.
He's got time.
Yeah, they're losing the license by the end of the year, unfortunately. But moving on to another book from Ignition, this new publisher that's cranking out about a book a week.
Yeah.
Feels like it.
Have any of them come out yet, though? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But they've all sounded really interesting so far. So Deluge #1 by one of my favorite writers, Cullen Bunn, which I am still reading through all of Six Gun right now and loving it. Plus, the art in this is by Marika Cresta, who was the artist on Star Wars Dr. Aphra. Okay. So this is a great team on here. Plus, we've got this cover by Riley Rossmo. So these are big names they've got pulled in here.
I love the logo for Ignition. It's a key. Like, that's so clever.
I also like the logo for Deluge that has the
water
ripples. Mm-hmm. So it says a hard rain is falling on Sevierville Correctional Prison for women. Which, I mean, Sevierville, that's just like 2 hours away from here.
We're close to that, yeah.
We'll have to watch out for that. As the river rises and its banks overflow, the same walls that are keeping the prisoners inside the fortress-like structure are failing to keep the water out. With the water comes something else, something deadly. And I think you can get a little bit of hint from right there.
Sharks.
Yep. That's what sharks look like. Yep. You have shark blindness. What was once outside is now inside, and the prisoners and guards will have to find a way free, because if the water doesn't get them, the monsters will. And this gives me a little bit Walking Dead vibes, because it talks about that as the group of inmates try to traverse the floodwaters, avoiding both the very real monsters that are swimming beneath the surface and the proverbial monsters from their lives from before incarceration that lurks inside them. It's like, the real danger is not the creatures in the water, but it's the people who are trying to survive that are going to be dangerous. So this sounds really, really fun. I'm not sure how many issues this is going to be. It does not say, but I'm excited to check out some of these new Ignition books and see what they have in store. And I love sea monsters and that kind of stuff, so this is going to be fun. We've got our A cover here by Riley Rossmo, and we have one by Marika Cresta. That is your interior artist, so it's gonna look
I like
great.
that.
Yeah, it looks really
Yeah, this is
cool.
gonna be fun. Next up is Absolute Wonder Woman number 12. Are you looking to see that I
Yep,
forgot to make a note about it? So
I'm just silently judging you from over
I can
here.
feel it, yeah. So in this one, Diana is still in the maze, although, and it says that she's gonna try to escape, but be careful what you wish for. But she can get out. I mean,
Yeah,
that
I
was
say try to escape. She just knows. She's like the door's over
yeah,
there.
yeah. She was helping everybody else
Yeah.
get out
Did you
in the
read the
issue
new
that came out.
issue?
Yeah,
Do you see what happens? Do you think at the end that's what I think it is?
I think you're wanting it too
I
bad.
think I'm wanting it too bad, but
I think you're wanting it too bad. Uh, but with a surprising but not unwelcome ally. Although,
I
maybe.
mean, come on.
Diana makes her final moves inside the maze, but even in winning the day, there will be devastating losses to bear. So maybe all the people that she's trying to help get out, maybe some of them don't make it. I'm not sure, but it's been really fun. Diana in the maze. And
I
it
actually
sounds
think
like,
this story's been more interesting. I've read May's stories before.
yeah,
This is more interesting because she does know the way out, but is choosing to help
yeah.
people in there. I
Hmm.
think that makes a cool twist on it.
No, definitely. So this is our A cover. There's a Mirka Andolfo cover. That's
That's
really nice.
really cool. That
Um,
once again, the sword appears on every cover.
Yeah.
But
Oh man. There's a Yasmin Putri variant, which that's probably the one I'm gonna get right there,
yeah,
and
right.
then a Mateus Manhanini variant. Well, shoot, I don't know that one.
I like
That
that
was
she's
cool
got the
too.
red
Yeah.
like war paint. That's
Yeah.
really cool too. Well, next up we have Viking Moon. We talked about this quite a few weeks ago.
Well, I think it was supposed to be. It was on FOC last week, I think, and then
Yeah.
it got bumped to this week.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it on one of our In a Flash shows.
Yeah.
So you may have heard us talk about this one before, but this it feels way more official because now it has variants and all that. As when it had before, it didn't have any variants. So this is by Joe Pruitt and Marcelo Fruzen, and this is the description for this is kind of long, but in the year 1003 or however you want to pronounce it, 1003, Leif Erikson established a Viking settlement in what is now Newfoundland, but there was a strange world, all of that, but something happened. Something kind of, I mean, you could see on the cover there. It's not like they're trying to hide what happened. But this story takes place 20 years later, and Ulf is a hardened Viking, and they once again try to set a civilization there, a village or something, and maybe run into what took out the previous Viking party that was there. It says this is Vikings versus werewolves, the real reason the Vikings fled North America. A tale of blood curdling horror and barbaric adventure. So I think that sounds really fun. Seeing Vikings fighting werewolves.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fighting game I want to play.
That's the interior artist right there, right?
I believe so.
Marcelo
Yeah.
Frusen, yeah. I love this cover. I like it. You know, I feel like that Viking is just talking smack about the werewolf. He's big and he's smelly and he's right behind me, isn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Yeah, I hope the werewolves are actually that big.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. But
Oh man, I love a good Vikings fighting monster story.
Yeah, so this sounds really, really fun. It's going to be 5 issues, so a nice mini series. We've got our A cover here. We have an Xavier variant, a Talajic variant, and a Moratat variant. Those are really cool. If the whole book is just them fighting, I'm okay with
that's
that.
all I need. All right, so this is DCKO number 1. Now, you're like, why didn't you talk about that at the beginning? Because this is not the actual DCKO number 1. The FOC for that is going to be next week, and we will talk about that when it comes around. But this is the lights out blind bag. So just like Battle Beast, just like Batman number 1, Marvel's doing another one too. DCKO number 1 is going to have a blind bag. This is going to be $9.99. And inside is a foil version of one of the non-foil variants. And it could be The 1 in 100, the 1 in 250, the 1 in 500, or the 1 in 1000. There's a chance to get a foil version of one of those or one of the regular open order covers that aren't foils. So we want to tell you about this now. This is one of those deals where it's a special thing, so you have to order a little bit earlier. The book comes out on October 8th. FOC for the actual number 1 and the B and the C and the D, all those covers. We'll talk about that next Friday. But the blind bag, if you want a blind bag for DCKO number 1, you have to order it this weekend.
Yep.
It's a week earlier than everything else, just because they have to have time to get everything ready. And yeah, you don't know what you're going to get. They're all cardstock covers, so you're not really going to be able to feel, what you get or whatever. So it could be a foil version of the A cover. It could be a foil version of the B cover, or it may be a foil version of the 1 in 1000 cover. And I'm assuming that the ratios will hold up too. So it's not going to be easy to get a foil 1 in 1000. It's going to be pretty rare.
Probably pretty close to 1 in 1000 chance you'll get it.
Yeah. So if you just want like a regular cover, you can wait till next weekend. But the blind bag specifically is on FOC this weekend. And like I said, it's going to be $9.99.
Yep. Just wanted to get out there early in the show so you have a chance to go and order it if you want to. And you can order as many as you want.
Yep.
Get as many blind bags as you want. Next week, we have more Essential Comics. And of course, we got to start off with Superman. This is so much fun. This storyline right now is so good. I actually had a dream last night that I was Superman.
Okay.
And it had to do with looking for Darkseid.
Okay.
That's how much time and energy we spend on these these things. So in this one, Booster Gold is a fugitive of the Legion of Darkseid. If you read the previous issue, you know that Superman doesn't even really recognize Booster Gold.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. It's like, what? Why does he not remember Booster?
Yeah, what has messed up in the timeline so much that it literally erased Booster from everyone's memories. So Superman and Booster must return to the present day to warn the Justice League, but Darkseid's legion stand in the way. And I thought this was interesting. I mean, I kind of figured this would be true, but the shocking events in this issue lead into next month's massive next chapter in the All-In saga. So I'm guessing they're meaning, I guess it's not the KO event, so something big next month is going to, I think, really, well, if this comes out in, so this
comes out at the end of September, and then 2 weeks later is DCKO number 1.
Yeah, so this is kind of your last lead in to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Superman. So I think this is going to be pretty important to knowing at least Superman's angle going into the KO event.
Yeah, and this title specifically has done this and Justice League Unlimited has done a lot of the setup for DCKO.
Yeah.
I hope you're reading this, not necessarily just for DCKO's sake, but just because it's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely be grabbing this title if you're excited for DCKO, because this is going to lead right into it.
This is when we take our books home on and read them over the weekend to talk about them on Monday. Superman is my go-to first book I grab to read.
I don't get a chance to read a lot of them on Friday night, but I always make time for Superman.
I always make time for Superman. So we've got our A cover here. A David Aja cover, an Ariel Olivetti cover with Brainiac. That's interesting. Okay. We have a Claudio Castellini variant. We have the Tom Riley Pumpkin Spicy cover. I love that one.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he could just karate chop that wood.
Yeah. Why is he tired? He shouldn't be tired after all that.
No. He's putting on a show. Yeah. We have the Dan Mora spot foil variant, which these have looked awesome. Yep. And I've already pre-ordered this one. This is the Dan Mora corner box art variant.
I try so hard to not order multiple covers for the same issue, and I'm going to fail at that this time because I've been getting the spot foils, but I have to get that too.
Yeah, I'm for the books I'm getting the corner box art variant because I just love. They're so iconic. Yeah. They're just in your face. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
This is so along those same lines. This is Justice League Unlimited number 11.
It's got the banner at the top.
Yeah, preload DCK. Did Superman have that on the A cover? No, Summer of Superman. Okay, they look the same. They look similar.
It had a banner.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this just like Superman, this book has been doing a lot of the legwork to set up DCKO. And this one, there's something strange that's happening to Earth, and the Justice League is powerful to stop it. And we saw that start in the issue that came out this week. There was a volcanic eruption, or not necessarily a volcano, but where was there a volcano? Well, I mean, I know there was the apocalypse, the fire pits, like Apocalypse. I don't know if that's what they're referring to or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They're the parademons that invaded the Watchtower, and the way they got there was pretty weird. And what signal does this point to in the Quantum Quorum's tournament? And so it says tournament. Are they talking about the tournament in DCKO?
I think so. I mean, this really sounds like they're setting up a tournament arc like in an anime.
Yeah.
You got the people, it's a cosmic tournament, and it's for the fate of the universe. And
so, yeah, big things happening in Justice League and in Superman, and it is all going to coalesce in DCKO, and I'm here for every single bit of it because that sounds so much fun. So this is our A cover. There's a Nathan Zerdy variant. There is a Kevin Wada variant. There's a Omer variant. And a Leonardo Romero Hispanic Heritage Month with Blue Beetle.
Yeah. I want to see some more Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Next up, still on the Superman train, we got Superman Unlimited issue number 5. This one's going to be exciting because this is part 1 of the first multi-part adventure in Superman Unlimited. So they've all been one-shot so far, but this is starting the first. I don't know how many. It's probably going to be like 2 or 3.
2 or 3. I don't think it's going to run very long.
But the Kryptonite Kingdom is attacked by the Cobra Cult. And this looks like a job for anyone other than Superman because it's a city made of kryptonite.
Yep.
But when the citizens cry out for help, of course, Superman will answer. This feels like a perfect book for him to get a really cool suit.
Yeah.
Like an anti-kryptonite
like a
suit.
lead suit or something.
Yeah. But I can't wait. This has been great. Dan Slott has been killing it on this book. Raphael Albuquerque. So much fun. This is just a great time to be a Superman fan. So we've got our A cover here by Raphael Albuquerque. We have a Dan Mora cover, which very interesting. I guess, is that Cobra?
I guess so. Maybe.
Not sure.
They look awesome, whoever they
cool. We have a Mark Spears cover with Crypto. It's got a very weird texture on his chest.
Yeah.
I love this one. This is the Medio Lolly cover. I'm not sure. I feel like this should be a series of helpful Superman.
Yeah, Superman doing mundane, helpful things.
Yeah, holding a car up so someone can work underneath.
Getting a balloon that's stuck in the rafters or something. Yeah.
We have a Declan Shalvey cover and the Dan Mora corner box art area. That's where you see his fandom of Dragon Ball and stuff, because that is a straight up Dragon Ball face.
And Superman Unlimited, this book is not doing so much to lead into DCKO. Yeah. This is more focused on Superman and the Superman family, and that's by design. They told us that a while back. Whereas Superman, that's where that involves more of the DC universe. This series is focused just on Superman and things that he's doing. So this one I'm really excited for. This is Detective Comics number 1101. This is from Tom Taylor and Michael Janin, the team that did the last that's been on this book since the All-In era started, or most of it anyway. And this is the start of a new story arc called The Courage That Kills. So if you want to hop on Detective Comics, now would be a great time to do it. This is the first part of a new story. And it sounds cool because Batman has always used fear as his greatest weapon, his ability to, criminals are a suspicious and cowardly lot. I'm going to instill fear in them. But what if Gotham was a city devoid of fear? Batman's going to have to embark on a harrowing adventure that must be seen to be believed. I don't know what that means or what he's going to get into, but this is lining up a bit now with Matt Fraction's Batman number 1 because he has the blue and the gray with the blue bat, the slightly different utility belt. Brand new story arc starting right here, and it sounds awesome. So this is our A cover. There's a Gabriel Delato connecting variant, a Frank Cho variant, and a Romero Hispanic Heritage Month with Bane.
Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 13. So, on Monday, we will be talking about Amazing Spider-Man number 11.
The big one.
I feel like we will learn a lot in this issue about what is going on with all of this on this cover here.
I still don't think in that number 11, we haven't flipped through it yet, but I don't think we're going to find out who's Peter and who's this and who's that. I don't think we're going to know that.
I don't think we're going to know that. I think that's going to slowly be revealed. Yeah. But we are going to see what this Spider-Man is and everything. And I mean, this kind of just looks like a Guardians of the Galaxy team,
Right.
especially with Rocket on there. But I know a lot of people are really excited about this story arc. So Spidey and his cosmic friends, which that's a show I'd watch.
Yeah.
Who is the spacefaring Spider-Man, and who are his crew? So to say who is the spacefaring Spider-Man is interesting because don't just automatically assume it's Peter Parker.
I'm not assuming anything about anything in this next storyline.
Yeah, so we know Rocket Raccoon's in there. Symbi, I believe we're going to be introduced to in issue number 11, the little symbiote guy down there. The other companions will have a huge impact on Spider-Man and may hold the key to some mysteries that have been brewing. So, very interested about what all that means, who these people are, and I'm, my feelings of the Spider-Man series are kind of up and down, but I am very intrigued about this.
Yeah, we've said it before. It's like I'm not super loving. I haven't really been super loving Amazing Spider-Man for the last few months. But darn it, if Marvel doesn't make me want to keep reading because I want to find out what in the heck is going on.
Yeah, I think my main thing is like, especially right now, like they're Spider-Man and Peter Parker are jerks. I don't really want to read that, but if this is going to explain what's going on, then I want to know.
And this character, the woman with the yellow gold skin, she looks like a character from Wetworks from Image in the in the 90s.
Yeah, so Pepe Larraz back on art. This is going to be great. We've got our A cover here. This is the cover everyone should be getting.
Cover of the year.
The Dave Barden Muppets variant. I love we're getting a Muppet 70-year anniversary covers. Muppets used to do great adaptations like Christmas Carol, like Treasure Island. Do Muppets Avengers, and I will be all over that. We have a Gonzo White Tiger team-up cover. Another great Libramejo. They should just call these the Libramejo wrinkly costume variants. And a Per Perez cover as well with that new team.
Yep. Can't wait to see what their deal is. Yeah. All right. So this is Ultimate Wolverine number 10. We're getting close to, I guess, the end. Well, it's 12 issues, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to lead into Ultimate Endgame. So this is Wolverine versus Omega Red because the Eurasian Republic leaders, Omega Red, Colossus, and Magic, they finally find out that their prized weapon, the Winter Soldier, has joined the opposition, which is the resistance group. And when Omega Red comes to reclaim the Winter Soldier, Wolverine breaks out a secret weapon, and I wonder if it's the Muramasa blade.
Ooh, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I've been enjoying this series a lot, and this sounds like it's going to be action-packed. This is our A cover. There's a Phil Noto Tron Ares variant. I would also watch that. And there's a Philip Tan variant.
That's cool. Next up, we have X-Men The Undertow. So this is a number 1, but you may kind of get the idea of what these are now. They've been doing quite a few of these. These are collecting the Marvel Unlimited Digital First comics. This collects parts 19 through 25. And this is really fun because this one is the story of Beak, who you see down there on the bottom right, who is sharing Thanksgiving not only with his family, but also the X-Men are there. So that's going to be quite the Thanksgiving. I've read some of this series. I really like the stuff they were doing not that long ago that tied in with Generation X and bringing that team back together. But I like that they're doing these in print now in case people don't subscribe to that. They can check out these stories as well. We've got an A cover here and a Dan Panosian cover, which is Beak hanging on to Juggernaut. It's pretty cool.
Next up is the facsimile edition of the original Spider-Boy #1 from Amalgam Comics from back in 1996. So for you youngsters out there who maybe don't know, this is when Marvel and DC, they had a big event in the mid 90s that resulted in the two of them combining, and we got all kinds of combinations. We got Super Soldier, we got Speed Demon, Iron Lantern, Dark Claw, all that kind of stuff. And we are getting a facsimile edition of the original Spider-Boy.
It's weird they started with this one. I haven't seen if they're doing more of these.
I don't know. I don't know why this one specifically.
This is a weird one to pick.
This came out of nowhere. It's about Pete Ross, your friendly neighborhood clone known as Spider-Boy. Join the amazing ARAH Kid mid-fight as he protects Project Cadmus from the deranged DNA alien Bizarrenage. And even if he can solve that problem, big trouble lies ahead courtesy of a somehow giant-sized King Lizard. Can Spider-Boy bring his reptilian rogue down to size in time to meet the blind date lined up for him by his ally, Otto Octavius? So there was all kinds of crazy combinations of Marvel and DC here. And this is the only cover. When they first announced this, they announced a variant as well. And I was excited for that because I was like, oh, that's new Spider-Boy artwork. But that's not in the specification anymore. So I don't know anything about that. But this is really fun, and I hope they do more. Because the Amalgam comics were so much fun. They lasted for a couple months or whatever. But yeah, having this as a facsimile is going to be awesome.
For those who don't want to get the omnibus with all of them, you can get specific ones, and they're like, I hope they do Speed Demon because that was
one of my favorites.
That one's so good.
Flash and Ghost Rider together. But yeah, so as far as we know, at least right now, this is the only cover.
Well, next up, we have a couple of Capcom stuff to talk about. This is the 2025 Street Fighter and Friends Swimsuit Special #1. They do this every year. There's some phenomenal artists in this. So it's Street Fighter, but also Friends. You've got Darkstalkers, Power Stone, Star Gladiator, Captain Commando, Rival Schools, and more classic Capcom fighting games and beat 'em up characters in this kind of pinup special. But it's always got, each pinup has kind of a fun, mashup of characters and everything. So if you are a fan of some Capcom, check this out.
I wish it were Street Fighter and Friends, and you had like Guile and Ryu, and also Ross and Rachel and Joey.
And Friends, yeah. The Street Fighter cast sitting on the couch in front of the fountain. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Quasimodox variant, a Tavio Rogers variant, and I'm gonna get one of these because I do like commissions and stuff. I think it'd be really cool. It doesn't say like swimsuit special. It just says Capcom.
Yeah.
You draw whatever Capcom characters on there. So I'm gonna get one of these and maybe do a commission of like Mega Man and Street Fighter and all that on there. I also want to mention, speaking of Capcom, we are getting Darkstalkers X Street Fighter Dark Love #1. And this is kind of continuing this storyline they've been doing, but it's a series of one-shots. So this is from Marshall Dillon and Alberto Albuquerque. And in this, the rift between the warriors grows. Can they keep it together long enough to protect the castle from the demon horde? So if you're a fan of Darkstalkers or Street Fighter, this is another one-shot to check out.
It says Lords of the Makai Part 2.
Yeah, which is weird that it's a #1, but not Part 2. So hopefully they think you can jump in at any point. I'm not sure, but just a bunch of really cool covers for this one as well. We've got this one, and we have a Brett Bean cover. That's your artist for I Hate Fairyland.
Oh, yeah. All right, so this is Savager #1 of 4. This is from the new publisher Panic. This is written by Dirk Blackman and Shannon Eric Denton, and the artist by Kuber Ball. And nearly 100 years after Earth fell to cosmic parasites, only the Savager, who is this guy, his name is Riley Phillips. He's a former Secret Service agent fused with a deadly alien, and he's the only one left, apparently. However, he's alone and he's driven by vengeance. He roams the wasteland guided only by the voice inside him. But when he discovers another living human, everything changes. So this sounds like a very, post-apocalyptic kind of sci-fi.
A little Venom.
Yeah, so this sounds really cool. I don't think we've had any books yet from...
Toma is a Panic.
Oh, Toma, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so just like Ignition, we have another new publisher putting out some really awesome sounding stuff. So this is our A cover, and then there's a Christopher Lair heavy metal homage variant.
That's pretty sick, too.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Something is Killing the Children. A monster hunter walks into a bar. I like that they're releasing this. So this is by James Tynion and Weather Deladera. This is the stories that were in Hello Darkness, the backups in Hello Darkness.
That's right, yeah.
All collected in
one
shot. Yep. Yeah. So it was 6 parts. They were in that, but maybe you didn't get those or you missed one, but you're a fan of Something's Killing the Children. you can pick this up and get the whole stories. This is Erica's story told from the perspective of people she saved. So you're getting kind of an outsider's view on this world and everything, which sounds pretty cool. So if you missed it, you can grab this one. But like a lot of Something's Killing the Children, there's a bunch of covers. We've got our A cover by Deladera. We have a Stunbeck cover. We have a Jenny Frizen. This is the Boom 20th anniversary cover. And there is a full art variant as well.
All right, so this is Mary Sue #1. I believe we talked about this on our Comics to Pre-Order in a Flash video from last week.
Yeah.
And then it ended up, we didn't talk about it last Friday because it got pushed to today. So we're talking about it again. This is from Megan Fitzmartin and Lisa Sterrell. And this is about a girl named Cassie. She has a lot of friends online, and she likes to talk to them about her favorite show, Riverview. And she also likes to talk about her fanfic about a hot vampire named Jessica. But Cassie's former best friend finds out about her fanfic and reads it to the entire school, and that completely humiliates Cassie. And then her very own Mary Sue, and I guess maybe they're talking about Jessica, her fanfic vampire character Jessica. She pops out of the fanfic to save the day or make it much worse. So it sounds like a reverse isekai kind of thing, where her made up vampire comes out of her own story and causes havoc, I guess.
I really like the art on the cover. It gives me like a little bit of like Snot Girl vibes. Yeah. It looks cool.
That's Lisa Sterrell. That's your interior artist. That's what the book's gonna look like.
Nice.
There's also a Ganu Show variant and a full art version of the A cover.
Very nice. Next up, we have Vampirella Halloween Horror. This is, I think, the first book, even though we're right there at Halloween, that actually says Halloween in the title. This is going to be a one-shot. It's 40 pages by Liam Johnson and Jordan Michael Johnson. And something sinister stalks the street of New York. A paranormal serial killer is targeting the city's youth, and Vampirella takes it on herself to stop them. So just a fun Vampirella one-shot story if you're looking for one to read. I like how on it the creative teams is Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah,
nice. Company. Yeah, but really cool. I love Vampirella, so this is perfect. This is her season. This is where she really thrives. So we've got an A cover here. We have a Buzz variant, nice homage to her first appearance. We have a Selena variant and a cosplay variant.
And this is Mark Spears' Monsters, The Monster and the Wolf #1. So this is going to be a prequel miniseries to Mark Spears' Monsters. In a desperate attempt to find a cure to the werewolf curse that haunts him, Clint Abbott's journey leads him to the bitter cold of the Arctic. And through the snow and ice, he senses something is stalking him, but not everything is as it seems. So you Mark Spears' Monsters fans, I mean, I didn't mean to make it sound like there was one. No, for you fans out there. Yeah. So this is going to be a prequel series now. This is cover A, which is a blind bag, which is going to be randomly packed with one of more than 20 exclusive cover variants by Mark Spears, many of them incredibly rare, according to the solicitation. So is there... I thought there was a B cover, too.
No, the B cover, I think, is an incentive.
Oh,
so it's just...
So it's just this? Okay. So, and this is going to be $5.99. The blind bags are. You can pre-order as many as you want. And yeah, it says one of more than 20 Mark Spears covers in this. So
have at it.
Yeah, have at it. You can, go to town on pre-ordering these.
Well, next up, we got continuing stories. Like we said, there's a lot this week. Starting off with Star Wars issue #6. This has been a fun series so far. Still trying to figure out what the big story in this is. But I'm very excited about this because Luke, Han, and Valance face off against a swarm of Clone Wars era threads. Oh. You can see they are actually wearing clone armor.
Is that the guy from Bounty Hunters?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and all the way back from the original Marvel Star Wars run where he had his first appearance. He's really stayed in this run now. I guess he kind of feels like Marvel's Star Wars character. It's their stamp on the Star Wars universe is Valance. So he's been a lot of stuff. He's really fun. This has been a fun book. So here is your A cover. There's a Bengal, Ahsoka, and Anakin Jedi Knights variant, which is very cool. We have a John Tyler Christopher action figure variant. One of my favorite figures, just a generic Stormtrooper. Never have enough. And we have a Casanovas variant as well, with Luke wearing the clone armor.
This is Godzilla number 3, and while G-Force is on a fool's errand off the east coast of Bermuda, Godzilla's rampage begins in Atlanta. But how did Godzilla appear in the middle of the country? And after so much time without a stateside Godzilla attack, why has the King of the Monsters appeared twice in the last few weeks? G-Force is going to fight a brand new kaiju, and Godzilla tears through the country. So
a lot of things can appear in Atlanta and you not realize.
you're just there all of a sudden.
It's Dragon Con.
Right.
He's just there for Dragon
Oh,
Con.
that's right. That's this weekend. So we haven't gotten number 2 yet, but this is number 3, and I really like the first issue, so I'm looking forward to this. This is our A cover. There's a Jones cover and a Riccardi variant.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love the colors.
That'd be cool if it was like glow in the dark or black light.
Yeah. Next up, Event Horizon Dark Descent number 2. I really like the first issue of this. I'm really excited to read this one because the crew of the Event Horizon are finally about to use their experimental gravity drive, and the crew finds themselves transported to an outer space hellscape. Just sounds horrifyingly awesome. This mix of sci-fi and horror, based on the movie, but a prequel to the movie, is really fun. You don't even have to really know a lot about the movie, because I couldn't remember a whole lot about it when I read the first one, and I had a blast with it. So this is your A cover, and there is a Rosmo variant, which is super creepy.
This is Escape number 2. I believe this one got pushed back a week as well, so now it's now here. And wounded and hunted and running out of time, Milton Shaw, who is your main cover on the cover there, he has one shot left to change the course of the war, destroy the Titan cannon before his own side drops the bomb. And that's the whole shtick of this series, is he's got to escape before another bomb is dropped from his own people. But as many patrols close in and memories of the life he left behind threaten to break him, the mission becomes more than survival, it's redemption. So I really like the first issue that came out a couple weeks ago, and then now we have number 2. So this is this is the only cover we have, but we also have a second printing of the first issue right here. Both of these come out on the same day too, so if you missed out on the first issue, you can grab this, you can grab number 2, and have them both at the same time.
And next up we had the Invisible Man, or Universal Monsters, the Invisible Man, issue number 2. Number 1 was really fun, especially the kind of different take on the Universal Monsters. This is a little psychological, a little more like scary humans. Jack Griffin's ambitions will not be limited by the small minds of his rivals. And you can definitely tell that's his feeling, is everyone around him is an idiot and he's doing the real work. So now he must strike back.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, right now. So this is your A cover. And we have a Mike Del Mundo cover, which I would really love to see someone do this with an eraser, just like, can they make eraser art with shavings?
This is TMNT Journeys number 2, and this is the series that's reprinting volume 4 of the original series from Mirage. And in this story, Michelangelo is separated from his brothers, or he was separated from his brothers during their battle with the Manhattan militia. He's been picked up by a mysterious flying ambulance that's going to take him somewhere new. And back in the sewers, Leonardo, Donatello, and Casey Jones head out to investigate an abandoned armored van they found nearby and find horrifying mysteries within. So just reprinting some awesome old school Ninja Turtle stuff.
That's a tail.
That is a tail. Yep.
They used to have tails.
Yep. This is our A cover. There is a Lawson variant and a Randolph variant. Is that Kerry Randolph?
Oh, it might be. That looks like the early 2000s Ninja Turtle
which
series.
I love.
Yeah, one of my favorite series. Next up, we got Cover Gallery, some really cool covers to show you, starting with New Avengers number 5. So we got another Tron Ares cover, this time with Laura Kinney. This is the Hibachi Tron Ares variant for that. We have a really cool Javier Guerin variant. We have a Netho Diaz Stormbreakers New Class variant. And a Nogi-san Killuminati variant. That's the new Namor,
right,
whatever he's called.
This is Red Hulk number 9. This is the Stephen Platt variant, and that looks awesome.
That looks awesome. That is an awesome Deathlock. We have Flash number 25. Speaking of Mark Spears, here is the Mark Spears kind of trading card variant.
And this is Green Arrow number 28, the Brian Level variant.
And some of the best covers always come from Harley Quinn. This is Harley Quinn number 54. This is the David Nakayama cover. And there is a Gabriel Del Otto Gotham variant, which is very cool.
And this is Gehenna Naked Aggression number 4. This is the last issue of the series.
Yep.
This is the Rodrigo Yoshimiya variant.
And next up, we got Bookshelf. There's a lot of really good collected editions coming out. I'm going to start off with this one, which I am unusually excited for. This is not a traditional comic. This is more of an illustrated book, but it's The Wind in the Willows with illustrations by David Petersen. David Petersen is, of course, the artist and creator of Mouse Guard and is a phenomenal artist. This, of course, the classic by Kenneth Grahame, and with illustration by David Petersen, contains 20 color illustrations and 50 pen and ink drawings throughout. So you've got a lot. It's not just like a couple little things here and there. You've got a lot of David Petersen. And I feel like so much of his style and design work and everything stems from things like The Wind in the Willows. This was completed over 3 years, so he's been working on this for a long time. Of this classic book that came out in 1908. So I can't wait to get this and read it with those great illustrations. This is going to be $19.99, so not too pricey at all.
This is Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween hardcover. This is what I've been waiting for. It's going to be $39.99 and collects issues number 0 through 10 of this series. So the whole thing all in one big collection, lettered by our buddy Richard Starkings.
Yeah. Next up, we have Bug Wars Volume 1. Even though I've got every issue of this, I'm also getting this collected edition because I love this series. And it's book 1. We are going to be getting a book 2 of this. Awesome book by Jason Aaron, Mahmoud Esrar. Just crazy, over-the-top, mature bug violence action.
Yep.
It's so cool. And you can get this one for $16.99. And I love the cover too because that was not a cover of. It's not like they reused a cover from the book.
Yeah.
That's a new cover.
Yeah. This is DC Finest War, the Big Five Arrive. It sounds weird. DC Finest War. No, it's DC Finest War, the Big Five Arrive. Now this is going to be $39.99, and this is going to collect a bunch of stuff that was published between January and April of 1957. So you've got some cool Silver Age war stories in here. Things like a few issues from Our Army at War, Our Fighting Forces, Black Hawk, All American Men of War, GI Combat, Star Spangled Stories, and a few more. So a few different issues from each one of those war stories from back in the late 50s.
Yeah, I love that they're reprinting some of this stuff that has not been reprinted. I think some of this probably never reprinted.
Probably, yeah.
So very cool in there. Next up, speaking of, we have G.I. Joe Real American Hero Compendium 2. So those big old compendiums that are very large but very light because they're on newsprint. We're getting the second one. So this comes with G.I. Joe Real American Hero issues 51 through 78, yearbooks 2 through 4, and the G.I. Joe Special Missions 1 through 15. So I'm not sure how many more of these there'll be. I'm not sure when they kind of tap out.
Well, what's the latest issue? The last issue in this
one?
Well,
do you think they're going to do that all the way through?
Well, the IDW picked up at issue 155 something.
Okay.
So there might be one more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they collect it once they kind of reach where they change publisher standpoint, because this is all still Marvel stuff. But we've got our main cover here, and then there's the direct market cover, which is very cool.
This is Green Lantern Corps trade paperback volume 1, the New World Rising. This is going to be $17.99 and collects issues 1 through 5 of the current Green Lantern Corps series.
Which is really good.
I like it, yep.
Next up, I'm very excited about this.
Yep.
This is Haunt, the complete collection trade paperback. This is going to be $49.99. And if you don't know about Haunt, it's essentially Spawn, but not. This is collecting issues 1 through 28. This was by Robert Kirkman and Todd McFarlane, and then the later part was done by Joe Casey. The art in this is by Ryan Otley. So you've got Kirkman and Otley on here, your Invincible team. and Greg Capullo. So we also have Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo, which is your classic Spawn team. And then later Nathan Fox took over art. This was a really interesting series. Haunt has actually shown up more recently in Spawn, but he was absent since the series ended for a long time. It is it feels a lot like Spawn, but the setup for it's really interesting. So it's about two brothers. One is a kind of less than perfect priest, a priest that with plenty of skeletons in his closet, and his brother who's a government agent. Well, his brother, the government agent one, dies and can actually possess his brother, and together they create Haunt. And it's kind of set in the same universe as Spawn, so they deal with a lot of supernatural threats. And
it's almost like Spawn mixed with Firestorm.
Yeah, it has kind of that feel to it. Yeah. But especially early on, fantastic artwork by Ryan Ottley and Greg Capullo. I think you even had Ryan Ottley inked by Todd McFarlane in the early stuff of it. So this is really, really cool. I really like this series. I've never read the entire thing. I've just read their parts of it. So I'm going to be picking this one up for whatever I said, $49.99.
Yeah. This is Hyde Street, the trade paperback, Volume 1. This is going to be $14.99 and collects issues 1 through 7. So it's going to be a nice size trade paperback for just $15. One of my favorite Ghost Machine books. It's an ongoing kind of horror, gothic kind of story. Not really gothic, but just like an ongoing horror story. It's been really cool. We meet a lot of cool characters in this. Really interesting premise, and it's still going on now. So
and fantastic Ivan Rice art.
Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
Next up, we have Peacemaker presents the Vigilante Eagly double feature. So this is perfect timing because Peacemaker is coming out right now. Issue number 2 just dropped yesterday. It's so good. And this is not set within the universe of the show, but it might as well be because the characters act just like they do in the show. This is by Tim Seeley, Rex Ogle, Freddie Stroma, Matteo Lawley, and Mitch Gerads. And this was also... James Gunn did consulting on this, so all the more reason it feels like it's just in line with the show. But this is very funny. It's very mature. The way the art jumps back and forth is great. So if you want more, if you want to read something that feels like the Peacemaker show, check this one out, and you can get it for $17.99.
This is Robin and Batman Jason Todd, the hardcover. This is going to be $24.99 and collects all 3 issues of that series.
Yep, that just wrapped up or is about to wrap up?
I think the 3rd issue came out this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's done.
Next up, this one's really cool. This is the Warlord by Mike Grell Omnibus Volume 1. So if you don't know about Warlord, he is a really awesome character. Travis Morgan was like, a military guy, crash lands on Skartaris, which is... they just used recently in Flash, but it's very much like a man out of time. He gets there, and it's like this very fantasy world, and he becomes this warlord character. The big selling point of this is Mike Grell's phenomenal artwork. You may know him from Green Arrow Longbow Hunters. Also, just a really awesome guy. I've got an original Aquaman sketch from him. He lives not too far away from here, I think.
Oh, nice.
But he's very cool. If you've never read it, check out Warlord. This comes with First Comic Special number 8, which is Warlord's first appearance, and that is a comic that I found in a antique store.
Oh, nice.
In Sevierville, which we just mentioned something about that earlier, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first appearance of Warlord.
I'm gonna be rich.
I'm gonna be rich. But I love that book. I reread that so many times. So this has that, and that was a series that kind of like tried to kick off a bunch of different characters, and Warlord was one of the ones that worked. So this comes with that first one, plus issues 1 through 36 of the Warlord series, and you can get all of this for $100.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this. I've never read any Warlord, and this will be a great way to do that.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. Well, back when DC was doing some very different things.
Yeah.
Next up, we got some new printings, and there are some awesome ones in this.
This is all new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 1, the second print from the artist by David Marquez. This issue came out last week, I think, and it was pretty interesting. So if you missed out on that, you can get the second print.
Another book that came out, I think, last week is
Yep.
Black Cat #1, which I loved. I thought this was really, really fun. And you can get the second printing Terry Dodson cover right here, which I believe was the foil cover. So
Yeah, I think so.
you can get a regular edition of that one here.
This is Civil War #3, the Facsimile edition. This is the regular cover, but there's a Michael Turner foil variant, and holy cow, that
That's
in
so
foil,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, Michael Turner's incredible. Okay, this I'm just gonna tell you right off, I'm buying every one of
Yep.
these. This is the path I've chosen in life. If it's Invincible related, I buy all of it. So we have some other printings of Invincible Universe Battle Beast. This is the #1 5th printing. We also have, you remember Jason Howard doing these for Transformers and for G.I. Joe and for Void Rivals. We're getting these for Battle Beast, and I'm not going to be left in the dust. I'm going to get these because I missed out on getting them for those other series. So this is the Battle Beast #2 second printing by Jason Howard. We have a second printing by Ryan Otley, which this is so cool. He's been posting a lot of these on his Instagram. We have #3 second printing. This is the Jason Howard cover for that. And there is a Ryan Otley cover for that one as well.
This is New Fun Comics #1, the Facsimile edition. This is from 1935, so this is pre-Superman. These were. Is this gonna be like the big size?
I don't know, but isn't this technically the first DC comic?
I think so.
That maybe either had DC or was called, something in it was, this is the I believe the first whatever, early DC thing
Yeah.
was. I don't probably wasn't even called DC at the time.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, this originally was like really big and tall. I don't know if it's gonna be that size though, but there is this cover, but then there's also a blank variant, which
where
is
you
gonna
can
be
draw
$1
all your
more.
favorite characters from Jack Woods.
Right.
But I'm actually really excited to read this. I've never read this going back this old. I've read, first issue of Superman,
Yeah.
first issue of Batman, like old DC, but not pre-superhero DC.
Yeah, wasn't DC before DC? Wasn't it National, or was that
That was Marvel.
that was Marvel before Timely, right?
Well, no, okay. National then was DC.
Yeah, National was
Timely
DC.
Marvel, but
It was Timely then Atlas and then Marvel.
yeah,
Or was it Atlas then Timely then Marvel? I don't remember.
but yeah, they went by a different name at that
Yeah.
point. So yeah, new comic strips, aircraft, radio, movies, stories, adventure, mystery, sports, prizes. Let's see if we can turn in for one of those
Right,
prizes.
yeah.
See if it still
Yeah.
works. And we also have Absolute Superman #1 6 printing, cover B. This is the Jay Lee cover. And I wanted to also point this out. So, like we did, I think last week, we talked about Absolute Batman. There's reprintings of everything from 1 to 7, I believe. They're doing that for Superman and Absolute Martian Manhunter, but none of the covers were ready except for this one. So if you want to get some of those, they are up there. They're on our website. I don't know, they may have covers now, but they didn't when I was putting the show together. But if you missed out, you want to catch up, or you want to get some different covers for those, don't miss out on all of those. And that is it for Comics from the Future. This was a big week, but a lot of really cool stuff to talk about. So thank you so much for watching. Head over to infinityflux.net right now. Start placing your pre-orders for these books that come out in a month or so. That way you don't miss out when they are released. You don't have to worry about them selling off the shelves. You already have your names on them. And yeah, we got our Monday and maybe a Monday-Tuesday show coming up next week. Monday probably being just Marvel, and then Tuesday being some DC and Image stuff. So don't miss out on those. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. Let us know in the comments which of these books you are most excited about reading, because there is a lot on here that I am super excited about checking out. And until next time, see ya.